So in the bowl, I have all my dry ingredients. I have 2.5 cups of rolled oats, whole grain oats, not quick oats, not steel cut oats, regular oats. I also have my Truvia brown sugar blend, a 1/4 cup. I have a 1/4 cup of melted butter. That's in my liquid bowl right here. I have a 1/4 cup of liquid eggs, 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and there's my melted butter. I also have in here just a 1/2 teaspoon of fine ground sea salt. So that's what I have in there. In my bowl of wet ingredients, I have the egg beaters, applesauce. I also have almond milk, my unsweetened almond milk. And let's see what else is in here. Everything wet except for the butter. I'm going to add the butter melted to the oats. And then I'm going to add all of my wet ingredients to my dry ingredients. Now I'm combining my wet and dry ingredients. I also have ground cinnamon in here. We have a tablespoon or 2 of that. A tablespoon actually is the recipe. So I have my 3 bananas. I mashed those up. I left a few chunks just to make it a little chunkier once it's baked. So that was 3 bananas that I mashed with my wet ingredients. And we'll get this combined really well. My oven is already preheated at 350. So I'm going to fill these muffin cups 3/4 of the way full once this is blended. It'll bake at about 20 minutes on 350. I'll give it a check around the 15-minute mark just to see. I'll be topping 6 of these with walnuts. The other 6 will be without walnuts. So it looks like this is well blended, and I'll get this in the oven. So I'm just going to spoon 3/4 of the cup full in my cupcake pan. So here we have our baked banana bread muffins that are going in the oven now. I put a teaspoon of walnuts on 6 of these, and I put some semi-sweet chocolate chips on 3 for my daughter. And then if she just wants plain ones, I have 3 of those. You can actually freeze these for up to 6 months. They're good in the refrigerator up to 5 days, but I plan to separate these and freeze them. The nutrition information is for 2 muffins or banana bread cupcakes per servings. You can cut it down to 12 servings and just adjust the nutrition information based on that. So I'm going to give these a bake for 20 minutes or so, and then we'll take a look at how they turned out. All of these overnight oats require a 1/2 cup of rolled oats, old-fashioned whole grain rolled oats. So I filled each container with a 1/2 cup. 4 of the recipes require bananas, a 1/2 banana per recipe. I had taken the bananas, I cut them in half, I cut them lengthwise in half, put a 1/2 of each banana in each container, sliced as small as I could, and then I mashed up that banana into the oats pretty well. This particular recipe is for the banana bread overnight oats. I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of almond milk, unsweetened plain almond milk. I'm going to add, let's see if I can get to it, the vanilla. That is a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I'll be adding some chopped walnuts. And this is about a tablespoon of chopped walnuts. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. You're supposed to use maple syrup. You can also use monk fruit sweetener, any of your sugar substitutes, plain maple syrup, or you can use the sugar-free syrup like I use, and that is 2 tablespoons of that. You can also use honey. Honey is a good sweetener for these oats. And then I'm just going to stir this up. So we'll stir it well. This is how it looks complete, all mixed up. And then what I do is I label the lids. So I know what my flavors are. She knows what her flavors are. This will keep in the refrigerator for 5 days. So I can begin eating this tomorrow. It should stay in the refrigerator at least overnight, 4 to 6 hours at the least, so that it comes out to the right consistency. Once it comes out of the refrigerator, you can either eat it cold or warm. Try it both ways because everyone has a different preference. Some of them I like cold, but most of them I do like warm. My daughter likes most of them cold and just a couple of them warm. So this is the banana walnut bread flavor. Next up, we're doing banana cream pie overnight oats. I wanted to give you a quick shot of our baked banana bread muffins. They turned out really nicely. So what I'm going to do with these, once they cool, I'll partially freeze them. I'm going to partially freeze them without putting them in a container. And then I'll put them in a quart-size freezer bag, 2 per bag, because that's a serving size. Or we can defrost them and use 1 per person. So that's what we're doing with these. So let's get started with our banana cream. So we have 1/3 cup, or 1/4 cup actually, of our banana cream pie pudding and pie filling. And I got the sugar-free version of that, the banana cream pie. I've got 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. And I'll scoop the rest of that out. I've got a tablespoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to measure that out, about a tablespoon's worth. I've got a 1/4 cup of almond milk. I've got a teaspoon of cinnamon. And a tablespoon, again, of sweetener. Either your brown sugar or maple syrup, whatever you prefer. And we'll get the cinnamon in there and the rest of the yogurt. And then give this a stir. Our banana is already mashed inside. And we'll go ahead and give this a quick stir. And this will go directly in the refrigerator from here. So let me get this stirred up so you'll see what this looks like. So this is how it looks. All stirred up. I'll put my labeled lid on top. Banana cream pie, August the 10th. Again, this stays in the refrigerator for 5 days. Leave it in at least overnight, and it'll turn out perfectly. Now, our next one is chocolate banana overnight oats. And so I have my half a banana chopped and mashed into my oats. I'm adding 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt. Again, I'll get all that out off camera so we can mix it all in. I've got 2½ tablespoons of monk fruit sweetener. I've got 1/2 tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa powder. I've got Premier Protein. Got a 1/4 cup, or 2 tablespoons, 2 ounces, I'm sorry, of cafe latte, or you can use chocolate flavor, Premier Protein. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla in this one. And again, we're just going to give it a stir, and I'll give you a look at what that is going to appear like when it's done. You can also add chocolate chips to this if you would like. So this is what the chocolate banana Premier Protein looks like. It's a little thicker than the others. Once you get this out, you can add a little more almond milk or whatever you would prefer. You can add some PB2 peanut butter to this to make it chocolate banana peanut butter. Also, you can add coconut again if you would like. Chocolate chips, strawberries are a good idea. I had that once. Otherwise, this is how it looks. Again, I'm labeled chocolate banana. If I had added walnuts to this, which I do sometimes, I would put chocolate, walnut, banana, because my daughter does not like walnuts again. So we'll pop this in the fridge for at least 4 hours, preferably overnight. Again, they last in the fridge 4 or 5 days. These don't freeze very well, by the way. Now this flavor is one of my favorites. It's the cafe latte, mocha cafe latte flavor. I've got 2 ounces of Premier Protein cafe latte flavor, which has a lot of protein in it. I have a 1/4 cup of strong black coffee, a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. Again, I'll get all that scooped out. We got our Greek yogurt. And then a tablespoon of cinnamon. That's a teaspoon of cinnamon, I'm sorry. And I'll give you a look at this once it's all mixed up. This one's very easy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to add some chocolate chips for some mocha flavor. I'm just going to have to dump them in. Just a few, about a tablespoon. How to do it, yeah. So we'll mix this up. Add our half a tablespoon of cinnamon before we do that. Our cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and then mix this up. So it's got the Greek yogurt, half a cup of oats, no banana. It's got Premier Protein cafe latte, cinnamon, chocolate chips, and that's about it. So we're just going to get this mixed up for you. This is how it looks when it's done. I do have it well mixed. This is a half cup oats, a 1/4 cup of Premier Protein, a 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, some chocolate chips, a little bit of cinnamon, and don't forget the 1/4 cup of coffee or espresso, strong coffee or espresso. And this is really delicious. It's my favorite. I'm going to put the lid on. This one does not have banana, so it's one of the ones I'm going to be eating last in the next 5 days. These will be our pumpkin overnight oats. Now, with pumpkin overnight oats, there is no banana. I have our half a cup of oats, a half a cup of pumpkin puree, a half a cup of unsweetened plain almond milk, a 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a little bit of ground ginger, and a dash of fine salt. We're also going to use 2 tablespoons of sugar-free syrup. You can use maple syrup again, honey, monk fruit sweetener, any substitute sweetener of your choice. And so we'll get all this mixed up, and I'll give you a look at what it looks like when we're done. This is how our pumpkin overnight oats turned out. And these are really good. It's a really large serving size for this. If you take a look at the recipe measurements, you'll see why. It's slightly higher in Weight Watchers points or Healthy Bites, but not by much, only by 1 or 2 compared to others. We're also going to get started on our cheesecake oats. We have 2 containers because we're going to have one with strawberries and one without strawberries. So we have strawberry cheesecake overnight oats and cheesecake overnight oats. We're going to have a 1/3 cup of Greek yogurt for both. We're going to have a tablespoon of our monk fruit brown sugar blend sweetener. We have a 1/3 cup of almond milk. We have a 1/4 of a package each of sugar-free cheesecake pudding mix. We're also going to have a teaspoon of vanilla per cup. And that's it. So I'm going to get these mixed up, and you can take a look. For the cheesecake pudding mix, use a 1/4 of the package or about 2.5 tablespoons per cup. And that's up to you if you would like any more or less. I'm going to chop some strawberries into one of them, but I'm also going to top it with strawberries when it's time to eat this. So I don't want to put a lot of strawberries inside until I'm ready to eat it. So let's take a look how this turns out. Let's take a look at these cheesecake overnight oats. I have strawberry cheesecake and I have plain cheesecake. So when these come out, I might add some sliced banana on there. You could add chocolate chips. You could make this chocolate cheesecake. You could make this blueberry cheesecake. You could add some sugar-free caramel sauce. You could add I might, when these come out, I might crumble a little bit of graham cracker on the top just to give it more of a cheesecake-like flavor. So in 1 hour, I was able to make 12 baked banana bread muffins with chocolate chips on some, walnuts on some, and some plain. I'll be freezing them in quart-size freezer bags, all of them, to keep them good for up to 6 months. These stay good. So I'll be freezing them in quart-size bags. We have cheesecake flavor. We have strawberry cheesecake. We've got peanut butter banana, banana walnut bread, banana cream pie flavor, chocolate banana flavor, pumpkin flavor, and cafe latte, my favorite. I use masking tape and my trusty Sharpie to label all of my containers. So we are ready to go. In 1 hour, I was able to make all of these breakfasts. It's enough for at least, let's see, 5 days. There's 8 of the overnight oats and there's 12 of the muffins. So between 2 people, we'll get 4 servings of the overnight oats, and then we'll also get 1 each or 2 each of the muffins. If we do 2 muffin each per serving, then we're going to get 3 days out of the muffins, and then one of these lasts a day, so we'll get 4 days out of this. That's 7 days for 2 people, or 14 days for 1 person. That's in 1 hour. That includes all of my cleanup, all of my setup, and I'll be putting away now within 5 minutes. And that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed Days with Bros this week. And I hope that next week you'll join me for a special chicken dish that I'll be doing. And I hope that you like that. Enjoy your overnight oats. They keep you full for a really long time, at least 4 hours, some of them even longer. The baked oats are really good too if you're in the mood for something warm and baked versus a spoon and on the go. You can take this and eat it in the car. You can eat it at work. And like I said, heated or not heated. If you need to thin it up a little bit after it's been in the fridge, just go ahead and add a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of almond milk. Otherwise, thanks for joining Thursdays with Rose, and have a great rest of your week.